Well, hey guys, welcome to the live stream on this Friday. So glad you're able to join us. And today I'm looking forward to just evaluating and helping each other, sharpen each other with our live streams. I've got quite a few submissions that have been in the docket for a while, and I thought I'd just hop on. And intentionally today, what we're going to be doing is just looking at these churches' live streams together, giving feedback in the chat, things that we noticed that maybe we could improve on, because we want to bring the very best that we can. And also, in between those live streams, we'll have some time for Q&A stuff. So if you do have a question or a worship tech thing, feel free to drop that in the chat, and we'll kind of ping back and forth between those. So let's see who is hopping on the live stream today. Excited always to see where you guys are joining from. We've got Elle Fisher from Surf City, Huntington Beach, California. How's the weather out there? Right now, it is snowing and like 27 degrees here in Oklahoma. Abraham from San Diego. Awesome. Thank you. Hey, you guys aren't too far apart there. Joshua is hopping on from Texas. Thanks for jumping in the live stream. And then we got another Joshua from Texas, Josh Chilton. Hey, thanks, dude, for jumping on. iPanda, hey, they watched the video that I released earlier this week. Showed my worship media arts pastor those lights you made a video on, and we bought 2. Man, I really hope that those lights work out well. We've used them now for, I think actually about a year and a half, and I've been really happy with them. So I hope that they are. Let me know how your experience is with them. I always hesitate to recommend things, but I've had a great experience with them, so I thought I'd just pass along, that little win for us. We got Jeff jumping on from Fort Myers, Florida, and Daniel from Memphis, Indiana. Memphis, Indiana, not Memphis, Tennessee. I almost just defaulted there. So I apologize if that is offensive to any Indiana and Memphis people. Oh, man. And iPanda's from Oklahoma too. Hey, my fellow Okie. That's awesome. Oh gosh. I'm a little tired this morning. We had a night of worship last night and it was so good. But, and then it started snowing overnight. And so I had to come, and I've been tearing stuff down, and we're going to have a full video on the channel, kind of walking through it, a mini vlog, if you will, about our night of worship. Just to kind of share how we do it and our flow and everything, and just some tips and planning, those kinds of things. So maybe that will be helpful. But thank you guys for jumping on the live stream. Right now, let's jump into our live stream reviews. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Yes. We have... Can I scroll over here too? Is it going to let me? It's not going to let me, is it? Hold on. So our first live stream review is from Michael Franks from Coastline in Vineyard. I want to be able to scroll over here, so hold on just a second, y'all. Let's see. I think maybe was on the wrong window. Aha. Now we got it. There we go. Okay, so Coastline Vineyard, they have some Blackmagic TV studio cameras, a Canon 90D, and stream audio is running through Logic X. So they're doing a, what's that called? Mixing in a box, basically. They're not doing anything on the soundboard, doing it all software based. And that's what he wants the most feedback on. So Michael, we're going to listen to your audio mix and just see if we can give you some feedback on that. And also, if we see other things, we'll do that as well. So let's pop over to Coastline Vineyard's stream and give it a listen. Doing great things, it sounds like. It seems a little quiet to me, but Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I like the lower thirds.
Come, let us bow at his feet. He has done great things.
Okay, Michael, so first off, just audio-wise, I have my volume at max, and usually things are a lot louder, so I feel like maybe your overall mix could be bumped up just a little bit. If you add just a final compressor onto there, or some kind of little mastering plugin into your Logic X. I could be wrong though. What I do like is I hear like some space in the audio, like there's some reverb that is good reverb. And I don't know if that's a mix of audience mics or not. Michael, if you are in this live stream, go ahead and answer these questions in the chat. Let's listen.
See what our Savior has done. See how his love overcomes. He has done great things.
Wait. Was that auto-tune? Hold on, let's go back and listen if that was auto-tune. Kind of glitching.
See how his love overcomes.
Right there. Overcomes. See, that's my fear with live auto-tune, is this girl sounds like a good singer, but sometimes it'll just pull you to the wrong note, you know? So the risk reward is just not there for me.
He has done great things.
And maybe they're not live auto-tuning. I don't know. That's what it sounded like to me though.
He has done great things.
All right, I'm gonna bump this up a little bit.
Oh, hero of heaven, you conquered the grave. You free every captive and break every chain. Oh God, you have done
I hear some good panning. What are you guys hearing?
your freedom awake and alive. Oh Jesus, our Savior, your name lifted high. Oh God, you have done great things.
All right, brought that solo out. All right, I'm gonna let it keep playing and just see if you guys are saying anything in the chat.
Be faithful forevermore. You have done great things.
Nothing.
And I know you
I like that you have some room in the audio mix. The clarity of the vocals is up front, but it's not like super out front. I'm hearing guitars panned.
God, you do great
Drums are a little further back in the mix for me, but
Oh, hero of heaven, you conquered the grave. You free every captive and break every chain. Oh God, you have done great things. We dance in your freedom.
I bet your male vocalist is probably your main leader. And this happens to us too. That female is singing melody, so she should actually be a little bit louder than your tenor harmony there. But it's still a pretty solid mix, man. Let's listen just a little bit longer on this one.
Hallelujah, God, above it all. Hallelujah, God, unshakable.
Camera angles and stuff look good. I mean, if you can add some more motion to them, that'd be good. Less of these little static keys, but that must be the Canon 90D.
Hallelujah, God,
Great shot right there.
above it all. Hallelujah, God, unshakable. Hallelujah.
All right, let's fast forward to another song here later in the set.
Middle of the storm.
Oh, female leading again.
Louder and louder, you're gonna hear my praises roar up from the ashes. Hope will arise. Death is defeated.
It's a great shot.
He's alive. I'm gonna
So, in my opinion, you know, you got these drums in a cage. And I'm looking for a little more clarity from those drums in the mix. Like as far as the toms and the kick, I feel like they're just getting a little buried in the snare too. So that may just, I don't know, that may just be a preference thing. But dude, audio mix sounds really good. So props to you for that, man. Let's move on to our next one. And feel free to drop any questions you guys might have in the chat as we go. Like I said, I will gladly go through some Q&A stuff. And before we go here, let's see. Yeah, Henderson Hills Baptist Church submitted Jonathan from Henderson. And that is actually just down the road for me, down I-35 in Oklahoma City area. So they have some older Sony cameras from 2009 and Panasonic switcher. Let's see. Digico audio console. So he wants the most help with directing and shot composition. So let's pull up Henderson Hills and see if we can give them some feedback.
Credit the work of the whole
sermon, or not sermon intro. Looks like top of service intro.
And we hope you enjoy the service today.
So I'm going to keep the audio as the same level that I had it a minute ago.
Church, let's stand up and let's get ready to sing to our King Jesus, who reigns above everything. He's worthy of all of our praise. So let's sing this.
Piano sounds great right there. What is that, a Nord?
Rumors of the Son
Okay.
of Man.
So it may just be my input here needs to be fixed.
Stories of a Savior. Holiness with human hands.
Acoustic sounds great.
Treasure for a traitor.
All right, so let's look at directing, shot composition,
No eye had
color, white balance.
seen the image of the
So I will say, kind of my first feedback for you is I know Henderson Hills, and it's a giant church. For a person who's viewing your stream for the first time, you know, you're doing all kind of close-up shots from the beginning of the stream on. And I'm not sure if you're also feeding, okay, so you do have at least like an opening shot of your church, but I don't know if you're also using your iMag as your live stream feed. If you are, then I understand. Yeah, definitely keep them closer shots. But I always like to give people that are new, or just to give like context, you know, that an opening shot at some point here in the beginning where you're giving a wide shot of the auditorium, just to give that, you know, opening context shot for where we are in this space. So it looks like, you know, you've got tripods probably up above people. Here we got some people in the room. You can see their silhouettes there. Let's just listen and watch pacing of these shots. You got to change cameras right there. That shot needed to be on the hit. I like the movement. Got people engaged. That's great. So what's hard is going from that movement shot into a static shot now. Like I'd rather go back to a kind of floating on a panning, or on a panning, on a tripod shot, you know. Something else going from one movement into another movement. That's a good waist up shot on your leader there, for sure. Let's see. All right, so we're getting bigger here. I like that pull out, kind of add some energy to it. I haven't seen any shots of the drummer yet. Do you have a drum cam? I mean, that helps bring energy to the stream. I like that kind of Both pull out. See, now you're getting it. Oh, come on. You got to think with the music, you know? Bam, bam. There's some drums. I'm not a fan of this shot. I see so many churches do this where you have a drum booth and you put that camera like in a bird's eye view down. I know you're trying to get the drums, like showing them maybe hitting the drums, but I would much prefer that to come down to like shoulder level and be able to see like the singers and the audience kind of behind him. So I'm not sure how this is mounted there. That's just my opinion though. You guys feel free to jump in the chat and give some feedback. Person in back looks ghostly in blue. Yeah? Josh. Shout out to Nugs at Henderson Hills. Josh, you know everybody. Josh says this one is missing the reverb and space that the last submission had. Daniel says, I like the push and the pulls. Yeah, that adds, when all you have is tripods and you don't have any roamers, that helps a lot. That was a nice little bass line. Do, 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 do. Let's listen. But where's the audience mics? So they're only streaming in 720. Somebody said it looked blurry. So yeah, they're only streaming in 720. Must be these older Sony cameras that they have. I like the color change there to kind of change the mood. Now I'm sitting here wondering, okay, but who's leading this next song? Is it the girl? Is it the guy? Okay, so it's the girl. Yeah, maybe just on that down part, I'm thinking maybe the audience mics need to be a little bit more. Yeah, sorry. Pulls, yes. There's some weird audio in that right there. I'm not sure what that was.
It's your breath in our lungs.
See, the reverb just got turned up there.
We pour out our praise. We pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs.
It's got delay going too. That's what I was hearing them kind of turning that delay up. Those slow pans are great. You know, what I would say would help you guys, I mean, your white balance, your colors, all that stuff looks pretty decent. I mean, your skin tones don't look like super rich. They look like they're on an older camera, an older sensor maybe. But man, if you could just add somebody on the side of the stage, even like getting some handheld shots instead of just static shots on stage. You do have some cameras that show some of your audience, but there's really only like one or two on these side kind of tripod shots probably. So yeah, that's my feedback. Hopefully it helps. Take it for what it's worth. Any final thoughts, guys, before we move on? That was Jonathan's church, Henderson Hills Baptist Church in Edmond, Oklahoma. It's a great church. So let's look and make sure you guys didn't have any other final thoughts before we move on to our next live stream. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. All right, number 3. This is Highland Park Baptist Church in Edmond, Oklahoma. Tori submitted this, and let me just tell you, Highland Park Baptist Church in Edmond, Oklahoma holds a special place in my heart, guys, because it was the first church that I really, truly had a job at. in college. It's a little church right on the corner next to the University of Central Oklahoma. Go Bronchos. I had some other church experience and jobs before that as worship leading and part-time stuff. But man, Highland Park holds a special place in my heart. So they've actually built a new worship center in the last few years. And so Tori wants the most help with the audio mix. They're on Facebook. Let's see if I can pull it up and see. How do I do this? Okay. Oh, and Facebook always mutes it, doesn't they? There we go. All right, we got 38 seconds. There's nothing going on here, I don't think. I have my volume all the way up, so that makes me think there's no music on the pre-roll. So maybe, get some stock music just so people know like that it's working. For me, that's a little concerning. Let's see if we can hear. Maybe it was going. Oh, no, now we got it.
Falling on my knees.
Okay, so I don't know what happened there. So Tori wants the most help with just the audio stuff. So let's listen in to the audio, and for a small church, they're not a giant church. Let's see how we can best help them out. Come on, you can do it. What's wrong with you, Facebook? Why? Come on, you can do it. I don't know what I've done, y'all. All I did was click pause.
In worship, giving all I am to seek your face.
The left side is hotter.
Lord, all I am is yours.
All right, so we got drums, bass, 2 vocalists, and an acoustic.
My whole life I place in you.
Yeah, I'm getting more stuff on this side, just so you know.
Mercy, humbled I bow down in your presence.
All right, let's listen to it when the drums kick in here.
I pour.
Drums don't kick in there. What am I talking about? It's gonna kick in verse 2 here.
And you came to my rescue, and I
Yeah, it's just pretty dry as far as, I'm not sure how much like reverb and room mics you have. Got a good kick in there. Is that the Elisa Strike Pro? We're about to buy some of those for our youth center. I think that's what that is.
falling on my knees in worship, giving all.
So one thing that is hard with the drums, the electronic drums that we used to battle, is you're setting, maybe you only have like one output out of that unit that is sending to your soundboard, Tori. But I can hear like the cymbals are a little bit hot in the mix for my taste, as far as like the hi-hat and that crash. They're a little too direct sounding, but for the room that might sound fine, but for the stream, it's, I don't know how you can counteract that. So if you are doing multi outputs out of that, maybe you can just adjust those in the stream mix. And like I said, the stereo imaging is stronger on the left side, on at least this week.
I am to see your face, Lord. All I am is yours.
See, that hi-hat is way
My
like,
whole life I play.
yeah. And My preference on kind of whenever we're doing setups like this, where it's like a scaled back band, is to really have it more of an open sound, less of a direct sounding, like hearing the acoustic straight out of the, just very direct sounding, to maybe, if you do have room mics, to allow those to kind of fill in some more of that sound to make it, I don't know, it just makes it feel like this more acoustic set, like has more life to it. So that's my initial thoughts. You guys have any feedback for them? Let's see. Yeah, Daniel says you could bring the hi-hats down a bit. With fewer instruments, maybe bring down the lead vocal. Yeah, and I think that, he's saying the same thing. Mix is distorted just a little bit. It did seem a little bit overdriven, and that may have just been that you had things panned oddly. But yeah, check your gain structure. That's where it all starts at, is setting your gain structure correctly. And then here is a great question as we move into the next section of doing some Q&A stuff, is how did you resolve the audio issues from last week's stream? So hopefully everything is working okay today. That has been a saga that I've been dealing with. I actually have an ATEM Extreme now, and I was hoping that would fix the problems that this ATEM Mini Pro I have back here was causing, where it would not stream to YouTube. It just wouldn't. I would so I was having a USB-C into my MacBook and then run that through like Restream or something. And Restream didn't like using Safari. All that to say, I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Why can't I just go straight for my ATEM? Well, we put in Ubiquity Unify stuff in our church a few months back, and that's when these problems started. And after doing tons of research, I'm not the only one that's had these issues. It come to find out, something happened with the ATEM firmware updates, where I think they maybe changed from RTMP to RTMP-S, and Unify doesn't like that for some reason. So what I did was I downloaded like the original Blackmagic desktop video that came out whenever the ATEM Extreme came out, so I could load the original firmware on it. Once I did that, everything seems to be working fine. So one issue I do have is that I was separating my computer audio and this microphone audio into the two mic inputs. But whenever I headphone out of the Extreme, I hear my vocal delayed the 3 frames that it's supposed to be delayed to match the video. And so I don't like that. So instead of monitoring out of my old Tascam audio unit, but then what happens with that now is all of this audio that you're seeing from my computer is also delayed 3 frames. So don't worry if like the video audio stuff is off just a tiny bit. But so far so good. Let me know if it's been looking good, sounding good. I think that it's all fixed. All right. Let's move on to our next live stream review. Okay. This is why I don't like Facebooks. I gotta find it over here. There we go. I got rid of it. Next up. Hey, it's Larry Fisher. He's in the chat from Christ Pacific. He is using 2 Sony A64. My eyes aren't that good. 6400 maybe, a Canon M50, an ATEM Television Studio HD, and an AJ Hilo encoder. Okay, that's sending out. ProPresenter and ATEM software control, Allen and Heath SQ6, and stream audio is on a separate mix. We don't use OBS or Ecamm type software. Okay. Yeah, it's just going into the AJA. I don't know how you say that. Aja, I don't know. So let's pull up their stream, and he would like the most help with the audio mix. All right, cool. So let's check it out. This is Larry from Christ Pacific. Not specific like I think I just said. Pacific.
Time in order to.
All right, let's go back here. Okay. Go back to the top of the service here.
Pacific. My name's Britt Carson. I am the worship minister here. Would you stand if you're able and join us in worship?
All right, so listen up, guys, and give them some feedback. Snare sounds good. Is that hot rods, though?
We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. He opened the prison doors. He parted the raging sea. My God, He holds the victory. Yeah. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet.
Sorry, I was just tweaking levels there.
There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise.
All right, so initially, just my feedback is, yeah, it's a pretty solid mix. When her vocal came in, though, I don't know, it seemed a little too like direct, like there wasn't enough space, like not enough reverb maybe, or maybe it was just too hot. I adjusted these levels because your stream mix is on the hotter side compared to the other ones we've been reviewing. So, and I don't, I'm adjusting these independently, so I'm not sure. My volume's all the way up. So, but I think it's good. I don't hear any distortion. Her vocal though just seemed like it needed just a little TLC, like to not. And for some reason, it seemed like it was in my right side more, but that could have been bad. Yeah, I love that I could tell that was hot rods. For some reason, I really dig the sound of like a darker snare with hot rods. Like it just sounds good. Let's keep listening.
We shout out your praise. We sing to the
Larry, are you guys using tracks at all? Anything to fill in?
God who heals. We sing to the God who saves. We sing to the God who always makes a way. 'Cause He hung upon that cross, then He rose up from that grave. My God, still rolling stone away. There's joy in the house.
Yeah, so like I just want to hear more of the room and to not have just to mix that in just a little bit more. Like, yeah, your drummer's playing great, but right now I'm hearing drums and vocals. Like I feel like do you have a lead guitarist, or is it just acoustic guitars? Yeah, so maybe you don't have that element, so that's why the keys are kind of carrying the melody.
House of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place, and we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise.
What do you guys think? You hearing anything?
We shout out your praise.
Yeah, I would say maybe your bass guitar. So I'm hearing some little things in there, but it's not really like solid bottom end stuff. I'm hearing a lot of like sibilant stuff at the top, hi-hats and acoustic guitar. So just to kind of counteract that maybe a little bit.
We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners.
All right, let's fast forward to another section. You guys feel free to drop in what you're hearing. So a more traditional song here.
Now my true
Oh, that's so much better. That's so much better. Her vocal now, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't tweaked on the first song. And this sounds like the Nick Thurman arrangement of this song. Oh, he's playing an acoustic bass. So I would even look at, I don't know if you have any reverb going on your drums right now, but those toms, we have a plate reverb that's on just our stream mix for our snare. And then we also run reverb on our toms as well. Yeah, she's still getting like a little above everything to me though. What do you guys think? Daniel says great band. Groot. Okay. Okay. So no tracks. Question. All right, so I guess the thing that I'm missing a little bit is just that like ambientness that you get from either an electric guitarist or pads or something like that. So you got somebody sitting back there on the Nord, and it looks like maybe they're playing into main stage. And I'm curious, are they just playing pads? What are they playing? If they are playing pads and stuff, I haven't heard them a ton. Let's listen on this down part. Oh, there it is. I hear strings too. I hear a little audience now. Yeah, I think you're doing great. I'm not a super big fan of the lyric display, but that's okay. I like your set. No click. Brave man. Yeah, come on, give those audience mics. You gotta back off as a worship leader there. Yeah. I like that arrangement. That's beautiful.
Would you pray with me?
Very, very good. Good stuff, man. Before we move on, you guys got any other thoughts? No click. That's, you're brave. I have not played without a click. Well, I mean, I have. I prefer not to. We've been using click tracks with loops and stuff since 2004, I think. 2003, maybe. So I love the click. Good job, Christ Pacific. Keep up the good work. There was somebody that said, don't do the one that I submitted. Who was that? Do, 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 do. It was somebody named Joshua, I think. I don't know. It wasn't Johnny though, so we're gonna look at Johnny's. Church of Seventh Day. They plugged into an HDMI capture, a Canon M6 Mark II, and 2 iPhones, and they'd like help on the audio mix as well. So, ooh, another Facebook. Let's see if I can do it. That. Okay. Oh, Spanish. Let's see here. Looks like they're about to start. Maybe. Okay. So it's just 2 iPhones and another camera. They want help on the audio mix. Let's go forward and see when the band starts playing here.
Para poder orar, proclamando tu gloria, porque estamos cumpliendo lugar, mi Dios, en el nombre.
Viajamos por tierra, pero llegamos aquí. Hace un año estuvimos aquí, en el 4º año, ¿verdad, hermano? Estuvimos aquí, un grupo también.
Okay.
Y hoy regresamos, una representación de Dallas para estar con ustedes y decirles que el Señor sigue de pie. Él es nuestro ayudador, es nuestro hermano.
Exhorting, get things going.
Ven a Jesús.
Here we go.
Y seguro vivirás. Toda la iglesia cantando conmigo en esta mañana. Díselo a Él. Aleluya. Mi Dios. Gracias, Señor. Gracias por cada vida.
Got a good bass guitarist back there.
Es mi socorro.
I hear keyboard player. Johnny, are you guys using any tracks? I don't think so. I can't hear that guitarist, the one the lady's up there talking to currently. Oh, harmonics on the bass. Hold on. I want to hear that again. Oh, man. I don't know if I can. No, it's not going to let me. All right, let's keep going. This is with tracks. What did I just do? All right. Hey, I think for what you guys are working with, you're doing a great job. So I'm sorry I may not be much more help than that. Let's keep going. You guys leave Johnny some comments there. Okay, we got Aaron Smith from Renewal Chapels. And their setup consists of three C100 Mark IIs. So getting fancier here with the 25 to 105 lenses. 75 to 300 lens. 2 of the 3 cameras are on tripods with best scores. So somebody was asking about best score units earlier. We'll see if we can see them repositioning. They also have the 48-inch motorized slider that they use to get some crowd shots. Okay. And it's going into an ATEM Mini Pro, and an M32 for the broadcast audio is going through Logic Pro, actually. So he wants help with directing. So let's look at Aaron's stream here. Let me pull it up.
Happening on January the 20th at 10 a.m. in the morning here at the church, and we'll be gathering here and going out and passing out the stuff. If you still want to give to make that happen, so that we can get the warm clothes into people's hands, hand warmers into people's hands, and other.
I like your font there on the lyrics. All right, here we go. Turn my volume up. That's kind of cool.
Teach
Okay, there's bass guitar. I was like, I don't hear any bass. They're getting going.
Direct me in your path of your commands. But there I find delight. My will is in your hands. Turn my heart away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your ways. Take away.
So same kind of story with those electronic drums, you know, it's just the hi-hat eventually, like it just can kind of start feeling piercing. So the snare sounds good. I mean, it's a tiny little set, but it sounds good. Let's keep listening. Vocal wise, it's that same story that a lot of times I'm saying is, you know, you want to have some space, some life in the vocals it's a live stream. It's live audio in a room with people. It isn't a studio recording, right? And I think that's sometimes what happens to us is we get all the channels into our soundboard. Our stages are so dead because we've taken off all of the actual like acoustic things. And so we just have these dry audio signals. And so it's funny, you know, we start introducing this fake, reverb stuff to, it's like adding grain to photos that you took. I mean, I don't know. It's just EQ of her vocal is not probably my favorite. I know, just that like 400 to 500 hertz needs to be scooped out a little. That's just a guess. Like the low mids are kind of heavy to me, but
Within your ways we walk, for your laws are good. Temptation loses power.
all right, so let's just evaluate some things here, because now I'm forgetting what he wanted the most help on. Directing. I'm here talking about the audio. He's like, I don't care about the audio. Just tell me how to direct better. All right. So directing wise, you know, you got great gear. But like, for instance, this shot, lighting, that kind of stuff is not the worst thing in the world where your backline's a different color. I don't know, the pink purpley stuff starts getting a little overpowering. Even like that backlight is, in my opinion, just a little too strong. These shots are all just kind of static shots between your 3 different cameras. I think you said 3 or 4. They look good. I mean, hey, his skin tone without all the purple stuff looks like it's spot on, like white balance wise. But let's just watch pacing here. I mean, to be honest, like, why are we even going to this guy? He's staring at a music stand. He's just playing acoustic rhythm, which is fine. I mean, he's helping the sound. He's worshiping. But that's not like a shot I would keep going back to, because he's not leading vocally, and it's just not a high energy, like, instrument shot. So that's not engaging to me, as I'm like, I'm here to worship with you guys. And so even if you move that camera over by your drums or something, at least like he's kind of like physically into it and stuff. And these must be when you're using that bass core. I'm seeing like, okay, you were on that acoustic for a minute. Now you kind of panned over to the bass, just catching your different people, which is nice. A nice thing about the bass core. You just can't do any of it live. Okay. So I'm just not seeing any. Okay, we do have some audience here. There was some audience. Got baptism. That's great. You know, I haven't seen like what your church, what's the room look like? No establishing shots. So if you can, mix those in every once in a while, I think that's good. It's encouraging to see like a body of believers worshiping together. So that's my thoughts. You guys have anything that you want to help them out with? All right, let's keep going, guys. I've got a few more minutes. I'd say the same thing, Daniel. Try, just to get them off stands if you can. Even if, you can do like, use the multi-track subscription thing and just get them looking up at the back wall at the screens where it may be worth it. If your people really do need the chords for every song, that might be worth it. The medium shot is fine. The other cameras should go for a wider shot, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Julian. It's always good for us just to try new things and, take feedback and make it work in our situation. So let's keep going. You guys got any questions for me or anything? I'm on the wrong thing again. I keep going to my H2R graphics window instead of this window. I hope you guys are having a good Friday so far. All right, Abraham, Call of Zion. I think you were in the chat. So, wants most help with cameras and angles and coloring. They're using an ATEM Mini Extreme and 3 Blackmagic Pocket cinema cameras, 1 studio and 2 4Ks. Ran off of the Mac Mini computer. It's pretty new. Okay, so Abraham, let me pull up yours. We're looking at just camera angles, coloring, different things like that. And let's see here. That. Same kind of thing. I don't hear any like pre-service music or anything. So it's a little like, is this starting? Something wrong with my speakers? All right, so here we go.
Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Oh God, for their marriage.
That's a good looking shot right there.
God, and their faithfulness.
Love that coloring.
Commitment to you.
Por amor a tu palabra no callaré. Tu fuego arde en mí, nadie lo apagará. Por amor a tu nombre
All right,
no
Len.
callaré.
Yeah, it won't let me stop it in full screen. All right, so this medium shot, this like waist up shot, looks really good, man. I wish I could like click through. Okay, here we go. This shot, so they match well. They match really well. Let's see what else you got. There you got the crowd going in the shot as well. That I would say it's maybe like a little too much crowd in that instance. What I'm not seeing is any movement. So you got a static shot over here on the side of the stage. You have a static shot here. That may be the same one that you were using for... No, it's not. Okay, so you got your third one there on the medium. It's really a tight, honestly. That's kind of a medium. I like these 3 different angles. But what I still haven't seen is any establishing shot. I'm sorry I always say that. I just prefer that. Like, I have no idea what this church really even looks like. And if this is the front door to your church for a new guest, so far you've showed them a section that seats, you got 8 people and a band on stage. That's all that they know. And so I think you said it's feeding into a Mac Mini, so you may not have enough inputs to be able to change that up. But like, yeah, I would just say adding variation. You got good colors. You got, they all match well, but you're varying between 3 different shots and that's all you got. So what do you guys think? I would say maybe even take this shot if you had somebody running it where they could just vary it between 2 different focal lengths or something, that might help. Yeah, and this is a great idea, Orlin. Maybe you can use one of the pocket cameras as a rover. That would add more dynamics. Yeah, I would maybe use that Pocket 4K with like the Panasonic 35-100. We use that right now, and that has a pretty wide focal range to be able to get some different shots. And I'm not sure if your space isn't that big, you could probably even still stay wired and just be like, you know, in one corner or something like that. So that's a good option. Now, if you need to go wireless, you could. I've done lots of videos on wireless HDMI stuff, but you don't have to, maybe in your space. So the key light on everybody is really good. It's a good, solid image, though. So let's listen to, he wants to know, how about audio? So let's listen a little bit.
His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me.
There's a bass. So I'll say I can't hear the drums. I feel like the drums are over off to the side, and I can't really, like, there's no punch, there's no clarity. What do you guys think? Got any feedback for him? Yeah, so I'm not sure if I see... Okay, so I see somebody playing an electric guitar back there. And, you know, the electric guitar is adding... That's why I threw up that comment that you put, Orlando. Because I totally agree. The electric guitar is carrying the melodic parts. And a lot of times in worship music, we got the lead worship pastor playing acoustic. And so we put that out front. But it's more like a shaker. It's a rhythmic instrument. So it doesn't need to be like super out front. Plus, you've got 2 acoustics going, so that can get a little overbearing. I like the mix of the vocals, like the harmonies are good. See if we can hear audience. Oh, there's the electric guitar. So maybe he was playing more of rhythmic stuff too. Okay, I do hear some audience. Cool. You guys got any other thoughts for him? Abraham, thanks for submitting. I hope that that's helpful a little bit. Yeah, the snare should just sit under the vocal. Yeah, and I couldn't hear the snare at all. That's a good point, Daniel. Let's see who else I've got on here. I went the wrong way again. And there we are. I've got Don there. Okay, so Joshua is the one that said, don't worry about mine. So this will be our last live stream for the day. If you guys want to get into the next live stream, feel free. There's a form in the description of this video that you can always do these on. I mean, I hope this is helpful. I don't know. I mean, you can take my opinion and throw it in the trash if you want. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I'm just going off what is my preferences and things that I've learned. And you guys, that's why I'm kind of leaning on y'all in the chat too, to throw some things out there. But this is Dan from Memphis Christian Church. And they're using ATEM TV Studio, Blackmagic Pocket 6K with Canon 70-200. Yes. 2 Canon camcorders and mixing through Logic Pro with the same plugins as Bethel. Okay. All right. So doing that Bethel mix with the Blackmagic Pocket 6Ks. So let's look up Dan's stream here. And what did he want the most help with? Directing. Just composing shots, composition, things like that. So let's see. Got a pre-roll here. They use. Okay, countdown. All right.
Well, good morning, church.
I like that, kind of just
All right.
giving some little life to it as we get going here.
Be rocking and rolling a little bit on this first song, so you know. And it's all about
Giving
dry
a
bones
pre-warning.
coming to life.
Oh,
About
all
our
right.
resurrection.
Rattle!
We will have resurrection with Jesus by his power and his strength. Let's stand up.
Let's hear it. Dan, are you using tracks? I like that I can hear the audience clapping, but it's subtle.
Saturday was silent, surely it was through. But since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment.
Now, Elevation will shut down this stream like so quickly. Like if anyone, they'll kill it quick. So I got to keep it low here. And he didn't ask for audio help as much. Audio sounds good. You're doing great. Shot composition. Let's just look at it for a minute. I'm serious. I got to mute that because like they are the meanest. No, they're not the meanest. They just, I don't know. YouTube and Elevation, they catch it quick. I better stop saying the word. Okay, so we got this center shot here that kind of captures, you know, your band as a full thing. It's a good shot. I like this shot of you. It's framed nicely with those lights in the background and then your bass player behind you off to the side. Like a lot of times people don't think about little details like that, and you'll have somebody standing behind somebody in a shot. So when you have a locked off shot like this, take the time to put it in, you know, the details. Now I do see your thermostat on the wall. That we've got them in our stage too, but they're behind a curtain. So that's not a big deal. It's just like, to me, I'm like, oh, look, thermostat. There we go. So why didn't we open with this shot? You know, let's open the service with this shot when they're doing that little shimmery thing at the beginning, doing, you know, just kind of swelling. And then I know you're going to start talking pretty quickly there, like, hey, welcome to church, blah, blah, blah. But these shots, I'm not a big fan of. These shots where it's kind of like, and I started out doing these shots where I would have a camera up on a wall, kind of pointed down from the side. I don't know, like to me, I just would rather it feel like I'm not like watching everyone do the thing. And this is not too high. This is, I'm over exaggerating, but I would rather it kind of come down and be behind people. That may not be a possibility. More like this angle. It feels weird to me to go from that to that. It's not terrible, but that's just an opinion. So it'd be awesome if this is, I think you said you had a Canon camcorder too. What What did you say you had? Pocket 6K, Canon set. Yeah, 2 Canon camcorders. So what you could do is if you don't have any camera ops, say this is that Canon camcorder, what we do is we have our director that has a LANC unit that can, from the director position, can do like slow zoom in and outs, and that would help just to give some more life to it. Because right now I think we're just bouncing around between static shots. We got the side, we got the middle, and the wide. So even if your wide shot was doing that, oh, there we go. Come on, Rylan, let it play, and maybe you'd see. So there we go, doing a push in. That's cool. You have any on stage cameras? It's always like knowing like when to go to the next shot during a zoom is fun. I don't know. So I really like that tight shot on him. Yes, I think that was Dan. Oh wait, I gotta hear this.
I hear the sound.
Yeah. Hey, the band sounds great. I could use more drums. You know, those toms, they're so big in that song. Like, I want to feel them. Great job. Yeah, that's looking good, sounding good. I like your lyric display. That's solid. Those are thick enough, you know, all caps. You don't have to worry about capitalization and stuff. Let's see. Okay, so you do go tight. I was going to ask, like, whenever she starts leading in the middle, how do you frame your tight shot? So, you know, if she was standing more in the straight middle, you got that backdrop behind them, I'm assuming, for a reason, to kind of fill in the frame, but you're not able to do it right here. You got that off to the side. Let's see. I'd say your white balance looks good. Saturation, all that stuff looks good. I haven't noticed a ton of, I mean, I can tell, especially the wide shot, the coloring is a little different. So that must be those Canon cameras, but nobody's going to notice. I mean, like, that's so wide. Nobody's going to, you can just tell like the highlights here on the guitar in the face is more blown out than on the Blackmagic. So I'm assuming, and obviously because this one is zooming, has servo, that it's one of your Canons. What is this? Oh, those are windows. Okay. Dude, yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Oh, any comments, guys, before we wrap this thing up? I will say that next week, look for the video that's going to be coming out where I kind of talk about our night of worship that we had. If you want to check that out, it's posted live from last night, and see how many of the rules that I talked about that I broke, I'm sure, with our stream last night. But you can check that out. It's a CBC Owasso is the YouTube page. But I was so proud of our team. Went great. But I'll be posting that before we leave. I'm going on a mission trip, actually, to Mexico next week. So if there's anything you would like me to cover, I'm going as a photographer, videographer. I've been to, with Project Hope Worldwide. I've talked about them before. We sponsor through them. And it's a local missions ministry that happens here out of our city, that they have orphan care in Juarez, in Nicaragua, Southeast Asia, and also Uganda. And I've been to 3 of the 4 of those places to get to capture, you know, just footage and photograph and just, you know, the life of what's happening there. So I'm excited to get to do that with my girls. So I'll be there all next week, back in town to lead worship again the next Sunday. But so I don't know that any new videos will be coming out at the end of next week. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can always, if you want to do more like one-on-one consulting, if you want to do consulting with me, there's a link for that in the description as well. through Jimmy. I've done lots of those where we hop on Zoom, and we can do more of this, like where we can talk and stuff. So, post link to the night in the info section. Let's do it. Let's do it real quick. Do 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 do. Surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped? Let's see what happens if I just go CBC Owasso. Oh, I meant to make a video about this and I forgot. We filmed another testimonial video of this thing we kind of call Stories from the Pew that we showed last night. And I meant to give a breakdown of how we do all that, but I just was too busy doing it and wasn't able to really capture any of the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, you can go in here and you can check out our live stream and everything. Let's see. Share. My camera's blocking the copy button. Okay, so if I do that, and then I come over here, that. So if I do this, does that work? I think that I just posted the link in the chat to that if you want to check it out. Oh, Jonathan. Yeah, you missed it. It's okay. Just scrub back. We did talk about Henderson Hills, and I don't know. Hopefully it helps you. So, yes, no big deal. You missed it live, but it's there. Yes, I did. I assumed that was you, Daniel. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm going to give it a go. Weigleb. That may be really bad. I'm sorry. People always mess up my name, so I apologize if I did mess that up. But dude, keep it up, man. You guys are doing great. All right. Well, friends, I hope that you have an awesome Sunday. If you didn't see the video that I posted this week on those cheapy little Amazon lights that are a ton of bang for your buck, you can do that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're sitting here watching this live stream, why not? Hit that subscribe button. I'm always just documenting the stuff that we're doing here and my life as a worship and media arts pastor. So I so appreciate you guys. We're all in this together. I went and had coffee with 3 other worship pastors here in town yesterday. And, it's just good to be encouraged. And we're all doing this and we can kind of commiserate a little bit and also just encourage one another. And I hope that's what you feel from me here on my YouTube channel, is that I really want to help and encourage my fellow guys who are doing the same thing that I'm doing all across the globe. It's crazy how connected we can be. So remember, we can do a lot of great things, right? Let's do it all for the right reasons. And that is for God's glory. So we'll see you in the next one. Have a great weekend.